welcome to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel on a very, very snowy, cold day where I live. Today's video going to be a preview of the Celtic versus St Johnstone match tomorrow, which is live on TV, weather permitting. McDermott Park, where the game is going to be, has undersoil heating, and so would fully expect the game is going to go ahead. Forecast for game time tomorrow for Perth is going to be around about 0 degrees and snowy and windy, and so not ideal conditions to play proper attacking football. As some of you may have seen from the YouTube short I posted last evening, the team predicted going to show a few changes from Celtic's most recent lineup against Lazio and against Aberdeen and Motherwell. As in the YouTube short from last night, predicting Hart in goals, St Johnstone at right back, central defence of Carter Vickers and Novrocky, with Scales replacing Greg Taylor at left back, in midfield Bernardo, O'Reilly and McGregor, on the right Marco Tilio, through the middle Kyogo, and on the left Luis Palma back into the side after his suspension against Lazio on Tuesday. And I think the game on Tuesday very much proved that we were missing Luis Palma's creativity out wide. I think also Yang was rather disappointing. I thought Bernardo played really pretty well in his role. I like that Bernardo is very industrious, hard-working, is an outball, pretty good at tackling, pretty good at intercepting, able to play box-to-box, which I think is a key to Celtic's formation and Celtic's success, unlike David Turnbull, who seems unable to play in the defensive third of the pitch or the middle third of the pitch, but very, very good, to give him his credit, in the final third, in and around the opposition box, and availability for corner kicks, free kicks and penalty kicks. If this was American football, he'd be an ideal player to bring on as your kicker to kick extra points and field goals, or as a punter, but this is real football where you can't hide for 57 minutes of the match, or in our terms 87 minutes of the match. Come on and take the penalty kick and receive all the glory. You've got to do all the hard yards and hard work as well as that, which is why I would go for Bernardo over Turnbull. And to be honest, I also would go over Iwata and Home in place of Turnbull, and I do get rather confused as to why Tomoki Iwata hasn't had a fair chance under Rodgers. He's an experienced player, was player of the year in Japan the season before. He came to us in last year's January transfer window at the end of the Japanese season. He did a fine job playing right back, centre back, defensive midfield, central midfield under Ange Postecoglou in the last few months of the season. For me, he's always done pretty well under Rodgers on the few chances he's had. Thought when he came on against Hearts, he played very well, showed a lot of solidity, and of course scored a jolly good goal for Celtic against Hearts, and then seems to have been consigned to the subs bench, and not even on the subs bench quite often. Not quite sure what he's done to get in Rodgers' bad books. Doesn't appear to have been injured from viewing training footage. Never been mentioned in any press conferences that there's a problem with Iwata's fitness. And so there must be something else that's causing Rodgers to ignore Iwata as an option. think also it's time to get Nawrocki back into the side. He's been fully training for several weeks, and so I think he does need to be back in the side. And I think it'd be interesting to see Liam Scales at left back. I think he's a better defender than Greg Taylor. He was pretty good for Aberdeen in more advanced roles down the left when he wasn't playing at centre-back for Aberdeen. And from his games for Celtic so far playing central defence, better as a defender, better in the air, better as a marker, is able to distribute the ball when Celtic have been pressing forward. And so I think it's worthwhile giving Liam Scales over the next month or so in this very busy period through December to the start of January. I think it's worthwhile giving Scales a few games at left back, and also giving Nawrocki and Lagerbielke a few games in central defence alongside Carter Vickers, and bringing one or the other off the bench to replace Carter Vickers to keep him fresh and fit, as I think there are still some ongoing doubts regarding Carter Vickers' knee after last summer's surgery. From Alistair Johnston's interview yesterday, it does appear there are still some ongoing problems with his ankle following his surgery during the off-season break, but I would very much go for Johnston rather than Ralston, as he's a far better player, far better defender, much more of a presence, much more of a voice to organise things and help out his teammates, and is good at kicking forward also into midfield and even into the final third. I think Kyogo is very much worth another goal at central attack, although I think Celtic should be looking again in the next few weeks to use O and Kyogo in combination and alternating the two as the starting striker. And I also quite like to see in the next month or so a few sub-appearances for our talented players, Rocco Vata, Mackenzie Carr, Ben Quinn, Mitchell Frame, all of whom have acquitted themselves well in the Youth League version of the Champions League, and the key players were part of a 2-0 win away to Lazio also during last week. And so there clearly is a lot of talent in Celtic's B team from their UEFA Youth League games this year. Celtic go into the game against St Johnstone. We are currently 8 points clear, having played one game more than our biggest rivals. We are going into the game against St Johnstone, of course, on the back of a very disappointing 0-0 draw at Celtic Park at the end of August, a game in which we had 19 shots at goal, 19 corners, 35% of the possession. But it was one of those days where the St Johnstone goalkeeper played a blinder, and we missed a few pretty easy chances, primarily Matt O'Reilly, but also a pretty awful header by James Forrest. One of those days where we missed lots of good chances. Their goalkeeper played a blinder, and as you can see from the cover picture for this video, there's a good chance we should have been given a penalty by VAR, but a very obvious jersey pull when Lagerbielke was challenging for the ball in the box with the defender and the goalkeeper. However, disputes and arguments about VAR are for another day when there's less Celtic imminent news around. And so Celtic will be going into tomorrow's game at St Johnstone with a record in the last 10 games against St Johnstone of 9 wins and 1 draw, with the draw, of course, being the 0-0 from a couple of months ago. Over that period, 29 goals for, 5 against, with 5 clean sheets. It's now, let's see, the best part of 7.5 years since St Johnstone beat us back in May 2016. And we have won the last 13 times at McDermott Park against St Johnstone. And if we avoid a loss tomorrow, this will equal the record starting run to season that Brendan Rodgers achieved the last time he was at Celtic. So all the omens are very good for a Celtic victory tomorrow. As I was saying, the forecast is for it to be snowy and cold and quite windy. However, I think Celtic have much better players, a lot of players in good form, and although the conditions will make it more difficult to play good, attractive football, I think Celtic will win out and have a good 2-3 goal victory tomorrow. I don't see it being particularly tight or particularly difficult for Celtic tomorrow. A couple of little bits of speculation in the news from ex-Celtic players and other experts is that Celtic need a midfield enforcer, kind of in the mould of Scott Brown or Victor Wanyama, or going back a wee bit further back, midfield enforcer like Neil Lennon, who filled that role under Martin Neil and subsequently for a few years. Some of you may have watched my little video yesterday about Arjun Jashari, a player said to be on Celtic's radar, 21-year-old, current Swiss international, very much a midfield enforcer, good on the ball, good at breaking up play, good interceptions, helps out the defence, but able to get the ball forward and also able to get forward to support the attack. And could well be that he fills that role of being the midfield enforcer, which of course allows Cal McGregor to be a bit more further forward, to play much more creatively, which is probably his best role for Celtic. Other option, of course, would be to re-sign Victor Wanyama. He is only 32, currently playing in Montreal in the American Soccer League, same way that we got St Johnstone from a similar level of club. Wanyama, say, only 32, and so only a little bit older than Arden Moy was when he joined us at the start of last season. And Moy, I thought, had a very good season for Celtic last year. Sadly, due to chronic back problems, Moy had to retire. But I think signing Wanyama is an option. He would very much fill the role of being a Victor Wanyama midfield enforcer type role, and I think we could get a couple of years of useful service out of Wanyama at the end of his career. And I still think he is still in good form and would not be a backward step. As some thought it was with Arden Moy, but Arden Moy proved that wrong. Wanyama, for me, definitely not a James McCarthy style signing. Other little bit of interesting news is that Celtic's fans have won a UK-wide competition for football fans. Analysis by research companies showed that Celtic's fans on their Celtic fan pages are the sweariest, most foul-mouthed fans in the United Kingdom, using more swear words more frequently than any other football fan in their fan pages. We beat Rangers into second place, with Man United down at 6th, Chelsea at 7th, Liverpool at 10th. And so we've done very well to win a UK-wide football fan competition. One of my family suggested I made a joke here by using lots of F's and C's and B's and other swear words, but I'll avoid that cheap joke. Just to finish off today's video, my usual request, if you can, and you haven't already, do click that subscribe button, click the like button for the video, Also, what's been very nice over the last few days is I've had lots of comments and areas to discuss and debate coming through in the comment section, and always very happy to discuss and debate anything people wishes to bring up regarding the videos or regarding Celtic or even football in general. And also, where applicable, very happy to use those in future videos if there's any particular players, topics, or Celtic related matters or football related matters people want to debate and talk about. So, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and good luck, Celtic, in the snow and wind and cold of Perth tomorrow. And hail, hail!